Welcome back to more Triangle Strategy. In the last video, we saw the beginning of chapter 15 with a forced cutscene because they made me watch it before I could go to the encampment and do all that stuff. We also got the Dawn Spear as he lives and did the 4 mock battles I haven't shown off screen. And we bought a lot of stuff, and I'll be doing some grinding after this episode because this episode's going to be a chill one. A lot of lore, I guess, and character stories. Maxwell says, Lord Serenoa, after my battle with General Avlora, I fell into the river. I was content then, knowing Prince Roland had been saved. But after returning from the brink of death, I realized that I had been given a second chance. And I wished to use that chance to bring a swift end to all this bloodshed. Alright, bud. I believe ya. So let's see what all these character stories are about. So we have Benedict and Erodor uphold a custom they have shared for 30 years. Roland harbors doubts about his station, but Serenoa reminds him that he's a noble in his own way. Frederica decides to cook a meal for Serenoa, but even the best laid plans can go awry. Anna searches for answers about her parents, and Erodor seems to know more than he lets on. Erodor brushes off the subject of Benedict's sought-after flower, but why? While out training, Huette recalls a promise she made to Roland before the war began. Gila reflects on both Frederica's growth and her own change over the years. The research Corentin spoke of in his drunken stupor seems to be making progress. But Huette brings Azana to the woods to show her something. But what could it be? Julio speaks to Serenoa about having a noble imprisoned without the Lord's permission. Is this the same noble from before? While paying a visit to a nearby village with Serenoa, Jins finally realizes what he can do as a blacksmith. The former saint has only one regret left in his heart. Narv heals an injured child with his grandfather's magic. Medina goes to assist some nurses in dire need of aid, where another critical choice is laid before her. And we'll start with the least important ones going upwards, if that makes sense. I'm gonna do the lesser characters first, like Narv. Narv, you're up first. You're my least favorite. Or I guess you'd say the one I care about the least.
Damn it all. At this rate, I'll never come close to carrying on Grandfather's legacy. Maybe I was never destined to be a great mage after all.
Ow! It hurts!
Oh no, the poor child's fallen.
Hey there. Are you hurt?
Ow! It hurts so bad I can't even stand!
Not to worry. I'll fix you right up. So dry those tears.
Really?
Yup. The pain will disappear like magic. You'll see.
Wow! It doesn't hurt anymore. Thank you, sir. Grandma, look! My leg's all better now!
Well, I'll be. Thank you so much for healing my grandson.
You don't need to thank me. This is nothing.
Those robes. You wouldn't happen to be a student of the Archmage Grandante, would you?
You know my grandfather?
Oh, of course I do. What a great man he was, always using his magic to help those in need, much like you. I was just one of many whose lives he saved. Why, that was over 30 years ago. I lost my house to the fires of war and nearly my life along with it. But he quenched the flames with his spellcraft and healed my burns. Had it not been for the Archmage Grandante, I would not be here today. I am forever in his debt.
Even though Grandfather's name was erased from Hyzant's records, his memory lives on in the people he helped.
It sounds like he was a truly amazing man indeed. And I know he would be proud of you for following in his footsteps.
Do you really think so?
I do. And I have no doubt that one day you will restore the glory to your grandfather's name. No matter what the Ministry does to erase his existence, his spirit lives on through you.
Right. But I must keep practicing, that I might help even more people with my spells. Just watch me, Grandfather. I'll restore the honor of your name if it's the last thing I do.
Bro, why did you skip frames? For what purpose? Over 30 minutes ago. When? That would have been in the last battle. Alright, Medina, you're up. I can't believe Grandante actually existed. I was so convinced he was a made-up figure just to make himself feel better. I was so convinced. Alright, Medina. How much help can you be?
Thank you for journeying all this way to assist us, Medina. I fear the healers in this region are otherwise occupied today. You have my apologies.
No need to apologize. You may call on me whenever you're in need.
I have 2 wounded here. One of our own, and Ines Frosty.
The cause of all our strife in the flesh. Treating the enemy first! Have you lost your mind?
His wound is far more grievous. We must tend to him or he will die.
What fealty have we to those who robbed us of our king? Who would drive us to ruin?
We may have no fealty to his nation, but we have a duty to him, as a man whose life depends on us. Leave your talk of allies and enemies on the battlefield. It has no purchase in a place of medicine. So long as I practice the healing arts, it is my duty to save them both. They should be able to get some rest now.
That was incredible, Medina. I am sorry for what I said earlier. I was not myself.
All is forgiven. At one time, I would not have challenged you.
Would that I had your courage.
You can. Simply keep your desire to help those in need first and foremost in your mind. The rest is sure to follow.
How nice. Alright, Corentin, let's see what your research is. Let's see how it's bearing fruit. And what the but caveat is alluding to.
What's so urgent you can't let a man sleep?
Nothing less than the completion of my groundbreaking research, Eredor.
Oh, well now, that is something.
Indeed it is. I've managed to thermodynamically stabilize the quasi-liquid film forming on the surface of the...
Yes, yes, I've heard all that. Now tell it to me in words a man can understand.
Right. Well, in layman's terms, I have created ice that never melts.
See how simple... Did you say ice that never melts? That's mighty impressive and all, but what actual good does that do anyone?
My dear, sweet, simple Eredor. We can use my creation to forge weapons with no need for iron.
Sounds useful, if it works as you say. But how's the durability?
Silly soldier. Do you take me for a fool? Of course I tested their durability. Worry not. A prototype shall arrive shortly. I bid you try it out for yourself. For better or worse, you're the most experienced soldier I know. And so I'd have you handle it first.
That sounds big and important. I reckon I'll take you up on it.
What news? Surely it's finished by now.
Afraid not. I come bearing unfortunate news from the smithy. It seemed plenty sturdy at first, but shattered the moment he took a hammer to it. He says it has a long way to go before it can be used in place of iron, I'm afraid.
Preposterous! My calculations were impeccable. Surely I have not forsaken my homeland in pursuit of a fool's errand.
That's all a bit dramatic, isn't it? You can't have a breakthrough without breaking a couple of ice blades. You know what would wash away all that pain? A nice cold glass of spirits. Spirits? That's it! That unmelted ice of yours could chill him forever, could it not? Groundbreaking indeed! This invention of yours could still take the world by storm.
And I reckon the army'd have use for it as well, and keep our rations from going off. Weapons be damned. You've done very important work.
The fact remains that my calculations were in error. So forgive me my reluctance to.
Less sulking, more drinking. You succeeded, haven't you? Right then, this'll be my treat, and I won't be turning in till you do.
Very well. Scientific breakthroughs never come easily, I suppose. Perhaps my next experiment shall be seeing how many rounds my everlasting ice can chill. Right then, to the encampment with us. 'Tis time for a drink or three.
That's the spirit. Just promise me I won't have to haul your drunken ass home this time.
Never melting ice. 'Tis quite the breakthrough, indeed. Right up next is Julio. How will Serenoa take his imprisoning a noble?
Lord Serenoa, may I speak with you?
About that noblewoman, yes? Eredor's told me what happened.
Forgive me. I know that I should have waited for your orders before acting. But I could not leave that woman to her devices. The longer the war goes on, the more the people suffer. I imagine their feelings toward their rulers must be souring. In spite of this, that woman tried to use your name to wrest their food away. Had we let her go free, people would have thought she was acting on your orders, and their mistrust of you would have only grown. I believed we had to show them that soldiers stand for justice, and acted. I accept whatever punishment you deem fit.
There will be no punishment, for you have committed no wrong.
My lord.
Anna looked into her. It seems that woman's ill repute dates back to her days in Glenbrook. Likely, she thought to obfuscate her misdeeds in the Crown City by hiding within my troops. But she wasn't able to conceal her true self in the end. I suppose she thought to earn my favor with the stolen food. Unfortunately for her, she misjudged my principles.
Lord Serenoa.
Forgive me for my oversight in this matter. I shall take all necessary precautions to ensure nothing like it happens again.
So, you aren't upset with me for throwing a noble woman in jail?
Had I been in your position, I would have done the very same. For her misdeeds in Glenbrook and the crime you caught her committing, I shall order her banished at once. She will never again be welcome in the Wolfort domain. Let it serve as a deterrent to any others who would prey upon the common people. It is rare that I meet someone so committed to holding those of high birth accountable for their actions. I hope he will continue to do so. House Wolfort must be a house the people can trust.
Of course, my lord. You have my word. I knew I made the right choice. Unlike Patriot, Lord Serenoa is a man worth serving. Yes, I finally found where I am meant to be. I cannot rest on my laurels. Yes, I must serve my new lord as best I can.
What a humble man Serenoa is. He's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to put her in jail, don't hurt me. And he's like, no, I'm sorry for allowing her to even come into the city to begin with, for you to have to deal with that. Serenoa's precious. He needs defended at all costs.
This place was host to a battle not long ago, wasn't it?
We have come here to help. Let us offer what relief we can.
I never imagined the war would spiral this out of hand. Before the fighting started, all I cared about was becoming the realm's greatest blacksmith. I dreamed of forging the perfect weapon, a testament to strength. But what is strength, truly? Of late, I have pondered much on that question.
And have you arrived at an answer?
Well...
There they are! Thanks for the sweets you gave us. Hey, let's play a game!
Very well. What shall we play? Apologies, Iens. You may return. You needn't wait for me.
Come on! Over here!
I believe I may have found my answer, Lord Serenoa. Courage, kindness, warmth that kindles a smile upon a child's face. The fortitude to keep fighting, no matter what trials you may face. Through it all, your heart remains unbent and unbroken. That is what will end this war. You, my lord, and the unmatched weapons you carry within you.
Hey, you should play with us too!
If you insist, here I come!
Is that how you pronounce his name? Iens? I thought it was Jins. What do you mean it's Iens? My whole life is fractured now. I've been lied to this entire time. Alright, Archibald. What is your one regret that is still lingering in your heart?
Who in their right mind sends an old man on a scouting mission? Oh, goddess take me. I can't wait to retire. Of course, I can't very well do so until the war is over.
What will you do once it is?
I can't say I have any plans in particular. But there is one regret I'd like to remedy. I'd like to find my first love. I still dream of her, even all these years later.
Huh.
She was the general of the Esfrosti forces during the siege of the Citadel of the Sands. The turning point of the Salt Iron War, that was. I never learned her name. We were enemies, yes, but it was clear from the battle we waged how much we admired one another. She caught a beautiful figure on the battlefield. Her every movement was majestic. More than anything, she was a fearsome warrior. Truly, there is none in the world like her. I wonder what might have been had we met in a tavern instead of as enemies.
I see. I hope you can find her then.
As do I. As do I.
Well, looky here. Easy mark.
Let's get them before they wise up.
There.
He saw us?
Well, we're too far away. Inhumanly possible.
Monster!
How did you sense those bandits from such a distance?
Rats like that will never get the better of me. Until this war is over, I've only begun to fight.
I can see you mean that.
Ah, that's it. I know what I'm going to do when we're done fighting. I'll travel the land till I find the Esfrosti general who caught my eye. It's strange, but I sense her presence wherever I go. Might be she's closer than I think. If that's the case, I'd better do what I can to end this war, and fast. Time to work twice as hard for an early retirement.
Yeah.
You gonna be home tonight?
Yeah.
You know, pass out trick-or-treat candy, and Dad's taking me to Berkeley's for Halloween.
When does trick or treat start?
6.
6? Yeah, I can do it.
I'm gonna put this by the candy for kids that can't have the chocolate.
Okey doke. So what is Huette showing Azana? Something spicy, something tangible, I hope. I just want it to be exciting. One of the original tea getters is finally back to get her tea.
Tell me, why did you bring me all the way out here? Was something unclear in my explanation? Well, truth be told, I was clutching to the hawk for dear life. I could not make out a single word of what you said. Well, then perhaps it's best to simply show you. What? Who? Oh, it can't be.
Izana, my love. I'm overjoyed to see you unharmed.
You're alive. Where have you been? I looked for you. I looked.
I caused you worry, and for that I am truly sorry. I went to meet you, but on the way realized that you were being followed by Hyzant's watchdogs. I threw myself at them to serve as a distraction. You managed to escape, I see, so my efforts were not in vain.
You fool. You should not have worried about me. What did they... What's wrong? Are you wounded?
The Goddess of Salt has scant mercy for those who have renounced her. The marks her scorn left remind me of their presence on cold nights like this. The night I escaped, I fled to my home. However, I returned to naught but ashes. So I fled further, deep into the mountains. There I found refuge with a kindly old woman, where I've lived ever since. Until now, that is.
You asked me for my assistance, and I am as good as my word. I hope my efforts did not disappoint. I expect you two have much to talk about. I shan't disturb you any longer.
Mistress Huette here explained to me how you've come to be in their service. I would give anything to aid you in your fight, but...
Say no more.
Do not worry, my love. Leave everything to me. I shall bring this war to an end, so that no more innocent sacrifices are made upon the altar of faith. But for now, let me spend this night by your side.
Oh, right. A Huette. Wait. What was that? My man is back. We got him in the first side A and side B, but we did not get him in side C, the one route we chose. But we've already seen this, so yeah. I'm just gonna skip through this all. What is it? The Bloody Hawk or something like that.
Milord, a man calling himself Flanagan requests an audience. Will you grant it?
Flanagan. Flanagan's aptitudes. Yeah, we get it. He's a thing. I thought I saw Flanagan's face and I was like, wait, what? Alright, I think we'll do Benedict now, because out of all these characters, he's kind of my least favorite. Benedict and Isidore, what could possibly be their 30-year tradition? Intriguing.
All right, lads and lasses, lay down your arms. Let your bruises remind you of the lessons learned today.
Ah, what fortuitous timing. I still owe you for the drinks from the other evening. I wondered if I might treat you tonight.
Apologies, lass, but I've got places to be. Perhaps another time.
You seemed troubled by something. Perhaps I'm overthinking it.
Let us end our day's work here.
It is early, is it not? Is something amiss?
No, nothing at all. Just my attention is required elsewhere for a time.
Elsewhere? Curious.
How many have you had?
Not enough. Just one for you, I take it.
Yes.
Went by in a flash. Can you believe it's been 30 years?
The time has escaped us. The memory of that day, however, I doubt ever will.
Thrice damned, can't move. Always thought I'd meet my end with a beautiful lass by my side.
You have many days ahead of you yet, Eridor. We will see you returned home.
Don't try to run, you curs!
Leave me be. I'll just slow you down. It was my cursed pride that got us into this. Only I should suffer for it. We don't all need to die today. Run!
Even in the face of death, you refuse to set aside your foolish pride. I followed you into this hell of my own will, and I will see you delivered from it.
You fool!
Charge!
Come and die.
Yeah!
That would have been it for us, had Lord Simon not met their charge in time.
Aye. And the only punishment for my pride were these aches that keep me awake at night.
We hungered for glory all those years ago, without a care for how it would serve us later on.
A couple of would-be heroes who couldn't be convinced they weren't invincible.
Yet here we are, drinking, to celebrate the end of that war. I do not wish to reminisce upon the past. A toast that I may never again repeat the mistakes of my youth. But before that...
Yeah?
You have served House Wolfort well, Eredor. That said, I have a feeling we'll need your sturdy shield even more going forward.
You need me to lead a charge? I'm your man. I'll leave anything fancier than that to you. For House Wolfort!
For House Wolfort.
It wasn't a little battle story. I just want to preface this with, I know I keep saying I don't like Benedict as much, and that's true. Out of all of the main characters, he's my least favorite. But that being said, there are still parts of Benedict I do like, and moments of him that I do like. He does have his shining moments, but overall, he's the character I care for the least out of everybody in the group. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. I don't hate Benedict. He's just the one I care for the least. Alright, out of all the prospects here, I think we'll do Jila next, as she reflects on both her and Frederica's growth. I wonder how long they've been tied together. Is that even stated?
It's become late. We best keep an eye out for
Huette's back, baby.
You have a warrior's intuition. You needn't worry. I won't let us come to harm.
It takes no great intuition to see that this world is falling ever deeper into chaos. The reasons, however, remain elusive. Will we see our way safely through this darkness? I cannot say.
We have naught but our duty, and mine is to Prince Roland, whatever might become of House Wolfort.
I find your perspective refreshing. Although it may be direct, you walk the path you've chosen with confidence. On the other hand, I often feel that I'm fumbling. I had thought Gustadolf to be a man of reason, but now I see that he will not hesitate to employ deceit to achieve his goals. In a manner of speaking, he and I are not so different. I, too, once hoped to have the influence to change the nation. At least, I told myself so. Really, all I wanted was to be free, and Frederica was simply a means to that end. As long as I had what I wanted, I had no great concern for what became of her.
Jila,
But this war has caused me to reconsider that. I realize that Frederica herself is worth caring for. She's not the sheltered princess I took her to be. Her wits are a match even for Benedict. She surprised me, and shamed me. I was wrong to underestimate her, to define her by her birth and station. She represents my greatest failures as a teacher, but also my greatest success. For she has truly taken my lessons to heart. I see now there is no shame in serving another, and no shame in sacrificing my freedom for something greater. Oh, but perhaps I've shared overmuch. For some reason, I find it easy to talk with you.
I just want to state something. I don't think that line. She represents my greatest failure as a teacher, but also my greatest success, for she is truly taking my lessons to heart. I don't think Frederica represents her greatest failure as a teacher, per se. As a success, sure. Yeah, because she's taken her lessons to heart. But what I really think she's trying to get out there is that she represents my greatest failures as a teacher. Is not specifically being a teacher, because I don't think there was anything wrong within the way Gila was teaching Frederica. If anything, it represents her greatest oversight, her greatest, I guess, flaw before figuring out Frederica for who she was. So I guess in a sense, maybe it could be her greatest failure as a teacher in terms of like her outlook. Like in the beginning, she wasn't taking Frederica as seriously as a student because she had her preconceived notions of who Frederica was based on her status. But then Frederica, proved her wrong and then showed her she was serious and actually willing to learn, which is the success part. So it's like the way she was teaching her and the stuff she's taught her, Frederica's excelled at. But where she failed was in her outlook perspective of treating Frederica in the beginning. Because I don't think she was ever mean or cruel, but maybe detached would be the word. And over the years, months, whatever, she has grown attached to Frederica in her own way. And so I don't think Frederica really represents her greatest failure as a teacher. If anything, it just represents the greatest oversight she's ever had as a person and a judge of character. So in that sense, I don't think it has to have anything to do with her teacher, but it has everything to do with her perspective. Just my thoughts.
The feeling is mutual. You are not so aloof as I thought.
I've just had a thought. When the war is behind us, I may very well open my own school. Of course, you would be welcome to join me. I would be master of the classroom, and you could be master of the training yard. We could teach our students the art of hawksmanship. Our riders would be first class. What should our school be named? You will come and teach with me, won't you?
Not half so aloof as I thought.
I really do like Gila as a character. I think she's a better version of what Benedict is. We got Roland, Frederica, Anna, and Isidore and Huet, our tea getters, so to speak. So we'll leave them for last. So I guess that means we'll do Anna. What is Isidore hiding from her?
Under this tree.
This here's the land of the Jax clan, or used to be more like. That clasp on your chest, that's their sigil, if I'm not mistaken.
It's a memento from my parents. Or so I was told.
Aye. Now that I'm looking for it, I can see the resemblance. Same silvery hair and everything. Villages near here met with a pretty terrible fate. They begged the armies to spare their fields. The only one who listened was one of House Wolfort's bannermen. No one was surprised, big war hero that he was. But by the time we got here, the Jacks had been all but exterminated. He was digging graves for the dead, enemy and all. A hero and a gentleman he was. Names on the tip of my tongue.
Benedict.
Aye, that was it. Do you know the man? I'd like you to pass on my gratitude, if you do.
Thanks for showing me the way.
Your coin's all the thanks I require. If that's all you'll be needing me for, I'll leave you to it.
You make a poor stalker.
Ain't exactly what I'm built for.
You fought in the battle here, didn't you?
Benedict swore me to secrecy. But suppose it ain't breaking oath if you already know. Oh, but first I ought to tell you. You've the right to the truth. And those ain't my words. They're his. That's why he never tried to stop you from finding out about your parents.
You know of their fate?
We drove the enemy up the cliff top. Cornered him there. The same instant we cut their leader down, a babe cried out in the distance. In the hideout, we found you, all swaddled up. A letter pinned to you with that same clasp on your chest.
Live strong, Anna. Stronger than any. I see now.
Your family died at our hands. If it's vengeance you want, you can take it out on me.
That doesn't sound like the Eredor I know. Do you think so little of me? To assume I would forsake my friend, bloody my hands with revenge. I know the truth at last. That is enough.
Is it, Anna? Or are you forcing it to be?
Don't be a fool. Benedict is the one who raised me. If I ever want for a father, I know where to find him. When we've won this war, I shall make sure he understands that.
Such a powerful, tiny scene. I love it. All right, Frederica. Frederica decides to cook a meal for Serenoa. But apparently she's not a good cook. At least that's the vibe I get from the sentence that is being thrown in my face.
Do you have a moment, Sheila?
Oh, Frederica. Is something the matter?
Well, I invited Serenoa to have dinner with me tonight.
That's wonderful. Are you cooking for him?
I am. I've been practicing with the book you gave me. I was hoping to finally show him what I've learned.
Then allow me to help. What are you making?
A warm soup full of meatballs. A hearty, meaty, savory stew to tickle the tongue and sate the stomach. Or so the book describes it.
That sounds like quite a mouthful, in more ways than one.
The author is rather verbose, yes. Anyhow, I also want to make an appetizer. Might you be able to lend a hand?
Cooking is hardly my specialty, but say no more. I'd love to.
Oh dear.
This is disappointing, to say the least.
And we're almost out of time. Serenoa will be back any minute now.
Excuse me, Lady Frederica. Lord Serenoa has just sent word that he has been held up at a meeting. He says there is a chance he may not even return tonight.
I see. Thank you for letting me know.
It sounds like your dinner may get postponed.
A blessing in disguise. It gives us time to cook this again and do it right this time.
Lord Serenoa may not even return tonight.
But there is a chance he might. And I refuse to disappoint him. Would you help me, Gila?
Of course, Frederica. I shall do my very best to see this through with you.
I cannot thank you enough.
The vegetables are done, though they are a far cry from perfect.
The meatballs are ready too. Now all we have to do is stew them.
Frederica, I'm back.
Oh, welcome back.
It appears we've run out of time.
I was on my way here when something urgent came to my attention. I apologize for returning so late. I know we were supposed to have dinner tonight.
I am just happy you're here. Besides, I am the one who should apologize. I wanted to cook you a meal, but failed terribly on my first attempt, so it isn't yet ready. I'm sorry, Serenoa.
Don't look so down, Frederica. I was delighted when you asked me to share a meal. Now that I'm back, why don't I help you with the food?
Serenoa.
Thank you again for inviting me. I'm overjoyed we could spend this time together.
As am I. I enjoyed cooking with you as well.
The time we spend together is very precious to me. I regret that my duties have been keeping us apart lately. But when I noticed the sky was even more beautiful than ever this night, I hurried home, hoping we could gaze upon its beauty together.
Ow!
Strange. When I was in Esfrost, I would look up at the same sky. But it felt so much
God dang it.
colder there. The stars seemed as if frozen. They did not twinkle the way they do now that I am with you, Serenoa.
Frederica,
finally!
Promise me that you will always stay by my side. I need you. Now more than ever.
Of course, Serenoa. I wish to gaze up at the same sky, sit beneath the same moon, and walk the same path you do. Together. Forever and always.
Oh. My heart. Oh my god. Dude, that was so adorable. That was so cute. I love them. Oh. Forever and always. Oh, that cuts deep. That cuts deep to me. Jeez. Oh, that was so good. I loved that scene. Best scene I've seen so far. Oh, so adorable. Oh my god.
Roland, what are you doing out here?
There's hardly a better place to become lost in one's thoughts. Don't you agree?
I suppose. However, if aught weighs on your mind, it may serve you better to turn to a friend.
Then let me ask, do you believe me too immature for my station?
Not at all. Quite the opposite, in fact.
But the other nobles loved to gossip of my disinterest in politics and intrigue, and mocked my love of hawking.
You said it yourself. Gossip and sniping, nothing more. Pay no mind to nobles and their petty judgments. The people who matter, your subjects, hold you dearly in their hearts. Stories abound of their love for you.
Hey, go peddle your junk somewhere else.
And why would I do that, my good sir? I see no reason to forego such a bustling avenue simply to please a stranger.
A stranger? You're posted in front of my damn shop. You're stealing my customers from right under my nose.
Oh, I am? I'm not sure your lack of customers could be blamed on me. Surely the proprietor bears some responsibility for...
What bickering is this?
None of your business, whelp. Now leave us to our negotiations.
Prince Roland, is that really you?
A prince, you say? Well,
A distinguished gentleman such as yourself must be mortified to have your customers bear witness to this childish bickering.
I'm sorry, Your Highness. My temper got the best of me.
And you, merchant. If you mean to trade in Glenbrook, I trust you have procured the proper licenses and approvals.
Well, the process takes some days, you see. Pardon, Your Highness.
Then your business shall have to wait some days, it seems. Shall I summon a member of the Kingsguard to explain the law in detail?
No, there'll be no need of that, Highness. I'll just be on my way.
Thank you, Prince Roland. Come visit any time, and I'll let you have your pick of my wares.
Your place has always been with your people. You could walk down the main avenue and settle disputes with a single word.
Don't tell me you were watching. They were petty arguments, nothing more.
As petty as they might have been, you were happy to do it. What better proof of royalty is there than that?
But it wasn't because I was wise that I solved their problems. It was my name and status that let my words weight. How do you imagine a kingdom with not a single dissatisfied soul would look?
That's a difficult thing to imagine.
Indeed. I suppose the best one can hope for is to do what we can, while we can.
Well, we can start envisioning such a nation. That one day we might build it. Together.
I like the sound of that. No doubt the answers we seek lie ahead, so long as we stay honest with ourselves. And so long as we work together, you and I, Serenoa.
Eodor brushes off Benedict's fascination with the flower. But why would he? By the way, I like that scene. That was a good scene. I enjoy any scene with Cyrano and Roland, but nothing can
Made it
top
in
that scene
time,
with Frederic and
my
Cyrano.
lord.
Eredor, you came.
Lady Destra. Your mother was loved by one and all, my lord. Honoring her this day is the least we can do. Is it just you here, my lord?
We are beset on all sides by tasks large and small. I would not impose my familial obligations on the others.
Spoken like a true leader. Me and your mother may not have been family by blood, but duty bound us just as close.
I am sure she would have been overjoyed to see you by my side. I never had a chance to know her. My only memories are from stories others told me. And still, I somehow can feel the warmth of her embrace, hear the loving sound of her voice.
She was smitten, that is true. She held on to you so tightly, I reckon not even the Dawn Spear could have pried you from her.
Did she?
Lady Destra's smile was brighter than the sun, and near as constant. She treated young Benedict and I like little brothers, though at times we weren't so deserving of her care. Even so, she always had a kind word, and worry enough to spare. There weren't a woman like her in all of Narzelia.
I did not know the bond between you three ran so deep. Benedict never mentioned it.
His lips aren't as loose as mine, especially when it comes to Lady Destra. Speaking of which, here. Your mother would have loved to get one of these from you.
A snowbell? My father mentioned her fondness for these flowers. Every year when I visited her, without fail, one of these would be placed in front of her grave. Was that you all this time?
Well, not exactly, my lord.
They're quite rare, are they not? I often search for them, but I have yet to see one in bloom. Where did you find it?
Well, I made a journey down south. Benedict insisted. Apologies for my absence, my lord.
There is naught to apologize for. It was a thoughtful gesture, and I thank you for it. Somehow, I can feel Mother smiling down upon us.
More than I deserve, if I'm being honest.
Huh. There's already a snowbell. Who could have...
Should have known. Nothing will stop him from his duty.
What was that?
There was nothing, my lord. Seems we're not the only ones carrying a torch for Lady Destra.
Indeed. We are fortunate to be part of such a close-knit house. And that is thanks to those who serve it. I trust I'll see you here again in a year's time, Eredor.
Of course, my lord. Snowbells might capture a moment in time, but your mother inspired loyalty for an eternity.
You know, I'm getting a sense here that Benedict's bond and feelings towards Lady Destra ran deeper than kinship. Just throughout this entire game, every time it's Benedict bringing up or just repeatedly visiting Destra's grave throughout the game, anytime Destra and Benedict are brought up in like the same conversation, I just get this feeling that Benedict really liked Lady Destra, like probably more than just a friend, but it wasn't reciprocated. It's kind of like the Snape Lily kind of thing going on, but without Benedict being evil and underhanded in moments. While out training, Hughette recalls a promise she made to Roland before the war began. What could a promise she have made? I really regret not doing Frederica last now. That scene was so good.
At it again, eh? You know, even the Dawnspear set down his weapon on occasion.
We are at war. I cannot hope to end it by being idle.
Spoken like a true member of the Kingsguard. You lot were always too serious for my tastes.
We were not serious enough. Where is the king we were meant to protect now? What will become of his kingdom? King Regna and Crown Prince Franny are no more. Only Roland and Cordelia remain. When I think of how lonely my charge must feel, I almost feel smothered by the guilt.
If he's lonely, he hides it well. Could be that losing his princely obligations has lifted a weight off his shoulders.
And who are you to speak on his feelings? His father ever doted on Franny. He knew precious few moments of his mother's love before she passed. Even so, he tried his utmost to never show weakness in front of his sister. He was there for her in the worst of times. There was never a place near the throne for him. Truth be told, Sir Maxwell was more of a father to him than anyone. I'd like to think I have been more than his guard. Oftentimes, I felt like his confidant.
You and Floogie are constant companions.
As I said before, my prince, he is more than my companion. He is the truest friend I could ask for.
A true friend? I must admit, I envy your relationship.
My prince, I did not mean to.
'Tis nothing to apologize for. I simply find the idea of soaring the skies with a true friend to be somewhat romantic.
You could do the same with the proper training. If it pleases you, my prince, I would gladly teach you.
You would? Then I gladly accept. I trust you will go easy on me.
I can promise no such thing. You must become as ferocious as a hawk yourself if you wish to ride one. War broke out soon after that. My promise to teach him is yet unfulfilled. So I will train, I will fight, until the skies are no longer clouded by the fires of war. Only then can I rest. Only then can we fly free. Perhaps then, with the wind in our faces, we can forget our stations, our titles, if only just for one moment.
What was that last part? You'll have to speak up.
Nothing. Nothing at all. Yes, it's back to training for me.
Right, we have officially gone through all 14 character stories, and we re-got Flanagan. It's about time. Anyway, Tea-Getters came back, and they did not disappoint. That scene with Frederica blew my mind. I loved that scene. The one with Roland was good. Gila's was fantastic. Iridor's was interesting. Benedict's was good. And of course, Huette's, Archibald's was fun, and Anna's probably my second favorite of the batch this time around. But that's going to be it for this episode. We watched all 14 character stories and fast forwarded through Flanagan because we've already seen his scene play out in side A of episode 19. or episode 19 side A. So with that, I hope you have a great day. Remember, only you can be the best you could possibly be. If you like the video, give it a like, comment if you love this super special, awesome, and ta-ta for now.